privileged to welcome top-notch expert, Mrs. Sapna Agarwal ma'am, who is currently serving as a project manager at AI Lead Automation CDS Pune. With her rich professional experience, strategic leadership, and expertise in managing technology-driven projects, she has made significant contributions in her field. Her practical insights and industry exposure make her an ideal resource person for today's session. Without further ado, let us extend warm welcome to Mrs. Sapna Agarwal ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you so much for the overwhelming introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Sapna Agrawal, and today we're going to together deep dive into the ocean of AI, basically, and discover the concepts of context window, prompting, tokenization. Okay, so let's move ahead with it. I know it's a post lunch session. Are there few people others to join? Shall we wait for a couple of minutes before we start actually? Yes,
And
Ankita.
they will be start. They will join early as well.
Okay, okay.
Okay, we will
So,
start. Now.
yeah. So, guys,
Okay.
me being a project manager now, I am dealing with, the nuances of the DevOps team and the end user. If you guys can, it's possible to switch on your videos. If you're on a, the okay backgrounds and all.
Okay, I request all participants please switch on your video.
Let's have an interactive session both ways. That will be fun for us to learn together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's post lunch. I hope you guys are not dozing off after the lunch. Okay. Okay. So basically, now you guys have been learning since 2 days about AI. So any idea about LLM? What is LLM and how it is doing? You can share it on the chat or you can unmute and share it with me. Yes, anybody? What is LLM? No one?
Large language model.
Yeah, it is a large language model. Now see, what is the profile which I have is a big, I already told I need to somewhere coordinate between the end user and the DevOps. So I'll try to explain the technical concepts in a very simple manner and in very easy analogy so that easily it can be remembered. For example, at home, if you have a parrot, okay, a parrot is there, and every day you say, I'm hungry, I'm going to have biryani. I'm hungry, I'm going to have biryani. So maybe after 30 days, if you ask the parrot, I'm hungry, what I'm going to have? The parrot will depict biryani because that is how it is being trained for. Okay, it is anticipating, it is just making the guesses, it's not knowing the facts. And this is how the LLMs or the AI works, guys. It's not being trained for anything, it is just being trained, but it is not aware of the facts that if this is the input, what will be the output. If my parents depicts that I'm going to have biryani, it's not knowing the fact what stuff, what all recipe factors which I have at home. Now this LM gets the superpower and it runs around the whole city and it ingests all the knowledge from the city. Now it has the knowledge from all the city around. It can question from all the books in the library, suppose if it keeps on reading. So what we are doing, we are trying to ingest all the data into the LLM. Now is it really sufficient to ingest all the data? No, we need to actually have some tool to actually assist to this data, right? For example, now let's go for another analogy of open book test. If a student who is well, have that logical sense, have a good decision making power, and it's sent to the exam, but if this same student is sent with the open book test where he has exposed to all the information which is being asked in the subject, he can go to that particular page and answer. So after the LLM, we need to understand the tools which are being useful to retrieve this information from the LLM. Right? I think the previous topics were all from different, from RAGs, agentic AI, and tools. But we need to understand the whole AI as a complete picture so that we understand how to interact with AI. And that is about prompt engineering waters. I hope you guys are going fine with it. If yes, can you just put yes on the chat? Is it possible? Okay. So thank you. Thank you. So now what we are getting is we are understanding that LLM has all the memories, the information it has. We need to have some tool to retrieve this information, right? For that, we need to interact with LLM. Okay. For interaction, now how to interact while answering? Now, for example, again going back to the analogy of that our predictable parrot. Suppose we now name it as Birdie. Now, what it did, it said, okay, if you are hungry, you're going to have biryani. But can it be hallucination? Yes, this is how AI hallucinates. Okay. This is the concept of AI hallucination, where AI take some inputs as a fact, and it will not check whether what is the background. If it will go to the most probable answer and give us the output. And to overcome this AI hallucination, we need to have guard railing. Now, what is this guard railing? This is a human review which we do at every level. Suppose for if at my organization I get certain project, I after every level we do human review because we need to overcome this hallucination. So this is a very basic part of AI. So now if you say that okay, the LLM was trained for the data, but for the live data, for example today's weather forecast in Pune, so it cannot be stored in the LLM. It needs to be live. It needs to refer to certain websites, certain apps. In that case, API comes to the picture, guys. That is API where it plays a very important role. API is something which interact with another tools, another apps, and then fetches the information. But which is not at all free. It is again paid. Okay, so in very quickly we have learned about LLMs. LLMs, pedagogy or analogy is something of a predictable parrot which can be trained. It predicts the answer. It's not knowing the fact. And then we moved on to the hallucination, and that's the reason LLMs or AI hallucinates. And to overcome that hallucination, we can go for the guard railing. So, any problem in this? Now the second question comes is how do we store the data into the LLMs? My parrot was trained to say if I am hungry, eat biryani. But how this data is being stored, and here comes the concept of vectorization. So before going to tokenization, I'll quickly move on to the vectorization. Let me share my screen, guys. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. I hope it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's begin with large language model, and now let's go to the concept of database. So what is this vector database? Now we all being from engineering background, we understand the concepts of database, but what is vector database? Any idea what is a vector database, guys? Anyone? What is a vector? We being from engineering background, we know vector has certain direction to it, right? So what is vector database? All are having lunch, I think, right? Anybody for vector database? Okay. So let me tell you what is vector database now. Vector is going into the certain direction. Now, whatever text we are storing or giving it to the LLM, it's stored in the form of certain number arrays. Okay, array of numbers is being stored, and the one which relate more. For example, dog can relate more with puppy rather than an airplane. Okay, so dog can relate more with puppy. So when I search my database, this dog and puppy will be lying closer to each other, guys, rather than the airplane. Okay, so this is how vector database. So when you say sky, what is the normal guess you guys will be having for sky? Anybody? Sky is generally, we take it as sky is, yes, what we take sky as an analogy.
The limit.
Sky is the limit. Okay. Raju sir has posted a specialized database that stores data. Yes, sky is the limit, which is such a good combination. Now see, combination of, okay, gases, or sky is blue, sky is the limit. Now, okay, sky is the limit is a phrase which we, so whenever we check sky at search sky, maybe the vector for that will be closely associated with it. Okay, so vector database is storing the data in terms of array of numbers with certain cosine angles to it. I think Jay explained this in the last session, the vector database, right? And there is another term tossed is called as semantic vectors. Semantic vectors are something, which are closely associated, which I was trying to explain. Dog and puppies closely associated as part to dog and airplane. So this is called as semantic vectors. Okay. So now after this, semantic vector is done. So if you want to talk to or interact with AI, how do we do that? Okay. How do we retrieve information from AI, guys? By giving the information to the LLM, right? We put certain prompt to it, right? Now what? Now whatever text we give it to LLM will never understand any text. It understand only the numbers. Okay, and every text, every, suppose if I tell text or if I say maybe prompt, so every four alphabet is converted into one token. Okay, the tokens are generated. Okay, so it's not that the text is being processed by the LLM. Whatever text we give, it is being converted into tokens. And how these token works? For four alphabets, one token generally. For the comma, for the apostrophe, for the full stop, there is again a token generated. Okay, on an average for an English language, if there are 100 words, there are 150 tokens generated for it. And here where the tokenization concepts creep in. So if you write a huge text, a huge prompt, so it will be converted to tokens, and these tokens will be processed. Okay, and this token to process, the LM needs to do huge amount of computation and processes, and then it gives us the output. Okay, so whenever more tokens are consumed, there is a more billing attached to it. Generally, for example, 1 million of token, or there is $0.1 to $1 being for reading the text, but for processing the tokens internally, this ranges from $1 to $4, and it may vary from language to language. For example, certain languages have longer words, the tokens needed will be more. But for English language, as I already mentioned, it is 100 tokens, 150 tokens for 100 words. This is how it goes. So this is about generating the tokens. So basically how the tokens are generated. So this is and costing is done for 100 words 150 tokens. Okay, so any problem in this understanding the token part, or you want to input something who belong to this background? Can you input some more for this, that what is the token in your language, what you feel the token is? See, nothing is free in this world, right? So now this is what is the slide for how AI reads the text. Token, if I say tokenization, so token will be one, for TOKEN will be one token, then this will be another, and this is how it is being split. So raw text is converted to tokenized, and it is being encoded. Encoded is nothing but embedding or converting them into a certain vectors, and then they are being processed. After processing, they give us the output, which is again the same language which a user is querying the LLM or the AI model. For example, now chat GPT can at a time process 128 or 128,000 tokens, whereas in models like Llama and all, they can process around 20 lakh tokens. The capacity has increased to. You understand, if the tokens are increasing, the text associated to the input prompt is also increasing. Okay, so it becomes huge. The text associated with that prompt is something, instructions which, or the conversation which we make with LLMs or the AI. Okay, so that also considerably increases. Now, when you say how will this LLMs define what is the context, now what is this context window? See, this context window is a very big, topic where I'm trying to shrink it and give to the, linger around the very major part of it. That there can be now you say our prompt is never so long that 128,000 tokens will be consumed. But it is not only the tokens which is being given by the user. This can be a system prompt, the tokens which are needed for the system prompt for the LLM to run certain algorithms. It needs to have system prompts. That prompt also need the tokens. Then the previous conversation history which an LLM was referring to, it will also be needing tokens. Then the current input which we are trying to give, and the output or the response which LLM is giving to us. All these process put together needs huge amount of tokens, and also huge amount of text. From our perspective, from layman's language, it is called as a text. Now when we say it is a text, this text can be, suppose, what is your memory capacity? You can remember probably one page at a time, two page, or maybe 100 pages. But when you go to the 100th one, maybe we'll forget the first one. So this is, same thing happens with the LLMs as well, which is called as the working memory. LLM has certain working memory to it. Okay. And, in maybe in up till year 2019 or 20, this working memory was hardly 20,000 tokens, which has been extended to now in lakhs of tokens. So whatever we write on the first page, an LLM can comprehend and interpret it even after the 20th page and use that context. For example, in the very first page, I'm telling it that bank. Now, what can be the banks associated with, guys? Maybe banks, financial banks, or another bank can be the river bank. Okay. So this LLMs or this AI need to understand the concept or the context and accordingly place the answer to the user. For this, to LLM to remember this context, it need to have that context window of huge token, so that it can actually swipe through it and scan through all the documents which is being given and the prompt which is being given, and accordingly it can give us the output. So context window is nothing but the memory which the LLM possesses. Okay, so that is really important to understand the context window part. Any questions in the context window part, guys? Yes. Any other examples you want me to give for context? For example, there can be some more example. For example, I gave it for bank. Any other synonyms which we use? Bank can be financial bank. Bank can be the river bank. Any other such things? Most of the faculties are in the college and attending the sessions, right? I can see Jagruti out here. Hi, Jagruti. Good to see you. Okay. So now a good thumb rule is that 1.5 token is needed for every 100, or 150 tokens are needed for every 100 words. Now, the next concept is the self attention mechanism. Now, what is this self attention mechanism? That is called as a transformer model. Okay. Now, what is this transformer model? We know a bit about LLM process. Transformer model, which powers LLM to remember the previous context, also is called as the transformer model, which is associated with the LLMs. And now we are going to go to the self attention concept. What is this self attention? Every token has certain way to it, and it relates this token with the previous token to infer the context of the conversation which a user and an LLM are having together. Okay, so this is nothing but called as the self attention in case of the LLMs. Okay, so what can we quickly add up what we have learned? We have learned about what are LLMs in terms of a parrot analogy, predicting parrot analogy. Then we quickly went to the hallucination guard railings, then vectorization, the way we store the data in the LLMs. And after the vectorization, we went for embedding. It is being embedded into small stuff and then stored. Then we see that every text which we are inputting to the AI is being converted into the tokens, and every LLM has certain token limits, and the bill they make us to pay is different. Chat GPT has different, Claude has different, Gemini has it different. Okay, Llama will take it in a different way. So every LLM or AI model is going to charge differently as per the context. And you understand, it's not necessary that more the token needed, more precise our prompt will be now. So what is happening is, if the if the prompt is too long, you know the the malwares or the people, what they can do, if the context is or the prompt is too lengthy, some nuisance user can actually put some harmful instructions and try to corrupt the whole LLM. If the the prompt is too long, if the context window is too big, so it needs to be neither too big nor too small. We need to hit that sweet spot where we optimize the usage of LLM and also not make it unnecessarily wide or lengthy. Okay, that is really important to understand. So this is about the context window. Okay, any questions in the context window? You understand how the malicious user can actually put in their harmful content if the context window is too high. So we need to optimize or keep it with a proper size so that these things can be avoided. Okay, and also we need to manage the computational cost, guys. Computational cost associate avoid performance degradation. See, whatever we compute, whatever we process in AI had certain hidden cost to it, and it plays a very important role while selecting which kind of AI, what kind of model I'm going to use, because it has hidden cost to it. And especially from the company's perspective, or when now you would have observed or experienced it after generating several documents from Chat GPT or Claude, it says now you cannot use it till 10, because the amount of tokens which are assigned free to you are being already utilized. It's no more allowing you to use the extra tokens for it. So it is all the game of number of tokens, and people are really having a good nag over it, that who's going to use what amount of token, make it very easy for the users to use with the least and the cost part. Okay, so we have understood APIs, we have understood tokenization and the context window. Any questions into this before we jump into prompt engineering actually? Yes, guys. Any questions related to it?
I think no questions, ma'am.
Yeah. So any questions for system prompts or the source code? Source code is something coding to analyze the generation of the output prompts. Okay. Now you understand, if we give X amount of token to the LLM to generate the output, it need to process X square amount. The processing power needs to be X square, the quadratic form of it. If we give 2, it needs 4 time to process all these tokens. So huge amount of processing is done at the backdrop of the LLM to get the desired output, the desired results. Okay, so this increase in computation may lead to slow down the responses or increase the cost associated with it. Okay, so let's go to the next part, which is nothing but prompt engineering. I'll share my another slide. Are you guys able to see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Madhuri. Thank you, Krishna. Now, this is what I have already covered. This concept I've already explained, that user gives the queries, tokens are being generated, given to LLM decodes it, responds it, and given back to you. And this concept is being explained. The most probable answer will, how it will predict, LLM will predict the cat sat on the mat. That is the mat 35%, floor is 25%. This is how it goes. It's being already told. Now let's go to prompt engineering. So what is prompt engineering? When we interact with AI or LLM, give certain instructions to it, those instructions are called as prompts. Now this is the so this is how it goes. Now it needs to have certain way so that we get the maximum output. Now in this case, see, there is a craft prompting, which is nothing but context. Whenever we say anything, we give any prompt, it needs to have the background or the context to it. Okay, for example, I am the professor at the engineering college and I want to make this. So I gave the background, then role, define the role AI needs to play. And I am now working on this. The action needs to be taken by the AI. Okay, and the format in which you are expecting the output. Okay, the output format which you are expecting needs to be also given here. That, and who's the target audience. Okay, so this is called as a craft framework, which is really basic and important in prompting. This can be used by end users like anything, everybody uses this. Okay, so context, role, action, format and the target audience. Okay, this is really necessary for us to understand. And one thing I missed to tell is that even these LLMs, when they hallucinate, how much leverage they take can be controlled by setting the temperature. Okay, if the temperature is 0, they are highly practical, and when it is 1, they are really very creative. Please try this when you give prompts to your LLMs. Temperature set as 0, it will stick to the facts. It will check more facts and then answer your questions. Whereas if it's being kept attuned to 1, it will highly hallucinate, or it will be very creative. It will act like a philosopher or some author. So this is also important, setting the temperature while giving the prompts and using this craft. For example, I have an example for you guys. Suppose you guys can you want to try something on this craft part? Anybody? Please open your chat GPT, and if you are there available, just check on the craft part that in on your system LLM gave that explain microprocessor architecture. Now, if we give this example as explain microprocessor architecture, did I mention any technical or any other details? No, I have not been given any details. So just explain microprocessor architecture is a very haywire, very vague prompt. So how can we make it precise? My third year engineering students are about to study 885 microprocessor. They are familiar with basic digital electronics but new to assembly level programming. So I have given the context to it. Okay, what is the context? I need to prepare this for my third year engineering students which are new to the processor. Now, role: act as an expert embedded system professor, or act as an expert of microprocessor. Okay, action, what you want to take, the A part, CR is done. The A is explain the internal architecture of the 885 microprocessor. Okay, include a comparison table between the program counter and the stack pointer. Now I gave the requirements specifically to it. Now format: present the information as a 3-paragraph summary followed by markdown table comparing PC and SP. And tone, what should the tone? The tone should be really professional and academic. So this is how we are going to craft our prompts or give our prompts to the LLMs. Okay, so this is the very first thing which we do. Now, very common prompt mistakes, maybe the instructions are vague, context is missing, the terms are ambiguous, there is no specific format to them, maybe information is too much or overloaded, that is the context window is too high, or we are not giving some examples. So we need to check, write about something. No, it cannot write something about, it's not at all the right prompt. As mentioned, it needs to have a proper base to it. Okay, so are we done? Like here we are done with the crafting part of the prompt. Now let's go for zero shot prompting. There are few techniques in prompting. For example, craft is the basic thing which we use, and the zero shot, few shots. Shots are nothing but the examples. We can say zero shot is something with no examples. Instruct something to the model, model will give us the output. As simple as that. Okay. For example, classify the following customer review as positive, negative, or neutral. Now, if suppose in case of segregation of the mails, see, when the job is repetitive, at that time AI plays a very easy and very good role. When the job is redundant, we are doing the same thing again and again. At that time, AI can really help us to automate the job. Yes. So if we are doing, suppose classifying the following customers review, if you are into sales or if you are into HR of your college, you can ask the to classify the following customer review as positive, negative, or neutral. Or for example, extract the following information from the text below. Whenever you have a, suppose you have a data of around 1,000 odd students, you need to extract the data, then you can give the prompt as extract the data given below as person's name, maybe college, and the maybe the branch it is selecting, right? This is how we can extract excel. We can excel the upload the whole excel into the llm and get the data extracted from it. Okay, now let's go to few shot prompting. In few shot prompting, we're trying to give certain examples to them, guys. Okay, so that with these examples our llm is trained for our inputs. Okay, that's what the output this user is being expecting from me. The way I trained my parrot, right? Predicting parrot. If I'm hungry, what I'll eat biryani. Okay, so in the similar manner, I can give certain examples to my LLM so that it can actually refer these examples and accordingly generate the output for me. Okay. For example, I have input one. How to give the example, that is important. Input, and this is the associated output. Means you need to train your LLM that if I give this input, I need this. This will be the output, example wise. Okay. So input to output to. Now this is how that you train and make your LLM intelligent only for yourself. Okay, and that will really reduce your job, your tedious job beyond control. Okay, for example, sentiments with custom labels. Now classify the sentiments of customer feedback using these labels. For example, in sales job, if you are into sales or such stuff, what you need to really gather the customers input, their feedback, and accordingly categorize it and put it into the database. So in that case, you can give customers, for example, if the customer is giving the feedback, your app is amazing, best purchase I have made, means what will be the sentiment you need to conclude that the customer is happy. Second is, if I have been waiting 20 minutes for support, this is ridiculous, means the customer is frustrated. This is how we need to train and prompt our LLM while using it. Okay. Now the next part is data transformation. You can convert data from one form to another. For example, you guys may be using SQL queries. You can convert these SQL queries. Ask your LLM to convert it into the Oracle queries where to push and pop the data. So that will be done by actually uploading the document or the Excel file into it. Okay. So what are the best practice associated with few shots? Use minimum, at least you need to give 2 examples. Choose diverse representative examples. Not it should be from the one stream. You need to have the diversified examples. The format of the example should be consistent so that my LLM understands, okay, this is the format in which I need to give my output to the user. And order examples from simple to complex. You're training. Think of training like a child. How you cannot go for the complex part first. It should be the simple to the complex part. And then include edge cases if relevant. Edge cases means dramatic answers when you are expecting, you can actually input this to them too. Okay. Now let's go for the next part of this, which is so to sum up with, what all stuff we have learned up till now is, what all prompts we have learned. We have learned crafting. Okay. Then we have learned zero shot and then few shots. Okay, in crafting, role, it can be expertise level, tone and style, and persona to adopt. This is important, that role. And you can also give the tone to it in format. What will be the output structure? Any examples if you want to add on, and the length requirements. For example, write an essay mm, about AI in 200 words with the tone of a student, of an engineering student studying in third year. This is how you need to give the context, the role, and the format. Please divide in three paragraphs, with the first one being highly informative, second one discussive, and third one to be conclusive. Then the action or the expected behavior, the target, who's the use cases, who's the audience, what is the success criteria for this output to be, and lastly the context, the background, any constraints if you have, any domain knowledge it needs to refer to. Okay, so this is about basics in prompting. Now let's go to the chain chain of thoughts. In chain of thought, you actually force model to think sequentially. It needs to think in a very sequential way. Okay, so that accordingly it will comprehend and answer your questions. Question will be given, it needs to understand, it needs to break down it into smaller parts, analyze it, and conclude it, and then answer it. This is how it needs to be given. Why it works? Because it forces the model to reason through the problem, reduces the error in complex. Reasoning is important basically. If it needs to have the reasoning for everything, makes the reasoning transparent and debuggable, helps catch logical mistakes if it has any. Okay, you can add the phrase like let's think step by step. And nowadays if you use Claude, it gives you certain array of questions, certain set of questions, and make the context very clear, and then it is able to answer. Okay, so a store has 150 apples, they sell 45 apples in the morning and receive a shipment of 30 apples. Then they sell 60 more apples. How many apples do they have now? Let's think step by step means this is a problem solving approach which you're trying to train it. Okay, okay, now next is in few short chain of thoughts. We can go for solve these word problems, show your work. When you for this can be useful in designing the answer keys for the questions which you feed into the LLM. Okay, and you want the answer sheets to be in a very typical format. In that case you can feed in all these steps for the answers, and then this is the format of the answer, so that my LLM will work accordingly and give me the output as per the format ingested into it. Okay, so when to use chain of thoughts? Maybe in mathematics, as already mentioned, where there is a lot prevailing logic to it. Multi-step reasoning tasks are associated. Analysis and decision making is there when you need to verify the model's logic. Yeah, in when the LMs are put to test, guys, at that time also these things are put under use. And then complex classification is there. Okay, now depending upon, now the question arises, what type of technique to be used when, that is important to understand. Okay, for example, if there is a simple factor, when to use zero shot, few shot, chain of thought, or few shot or chain of thought. Now in this can be done when the context is very simple and factual, we can go for zero shot prompting. When it needs some definite format or style, we can go for few shot. When there is a reasoning needed to it, we can go for chain of thought, that it needs to reason and then answer. And when there is a very complex plus specific answers needed from LLM, you can go for few shot COT. Okay, so this is about basics of prompting. Any questions so far? Okay. I hope this was relevant to you guys. I hope this will really help you to understand how to prompt the LLMs and use it in a better way. Okay. Now let's go for the next part then. System prompt versus, now what is system prompts? Any idea? So far this lecture has been one sided. I have been just giving you the information and you guys have been just taking it. Any prompts you tried? Can you try any prompt? Is it possible? Are you in that comfort zone where you can use ChatGPT and try to prompt? Is it possible? Okay. Thanks so much. Just try. Try to give a very straight away prompt and again in a very different way. In let's try to differentiate. Okay, now there are 200 odd people join. Guys, did you miss the tokenization part, the previous part which I took, which was really important? Context window, tokens, tokenization, transform models, hallucination. You want me to go through it again? Because when I started with this basic discussions, there were, okay, there were hardly 40, 50 people, 50 who joined. I think you have missed the beginning part, which was really important and interesting, knowing the terminology of LLMs and AI. Okay, so anybody trying with the prompting? Okay. 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 So can you give, is there any difference in the prompting when you're using craft to it? You understand what is craft now? We are very well aware what is craft. Okay. So, so this is what craft. Can you just give me anybody, if you can copy paste or unmute yourself and tell it to me? Let's make it more interactive, guys. Post lunch, no, so to nahi gaye. I hope you guys are not sleeping in the session. Okay. So anybody tried with the craft part? You can paste in the chat if you did try. Because that is really going to enhance your LLM's performance. Okay. So I gave you the example of, explain the microprocessor architecture or explain any concept of your subject which you deal with, which you teach, guys. For example, any explain dash dash. Now put that prompt and against it in the second attempt, yes, create role action format and target. Yeah, this is what is being shared on this PPT. Use these context and everything and now try to create or craft a prompt and see the difference which you receive. Once at least you try, please. That will really help you out, guys. Okay, because I really want you to learn something out of this session. At least some takeaways should be there other than that predictable poppet or parrot. Okay, that's great that you are teaching and I hope you are using it then. Okay. So I I hope you guys will try it. So let me recap the first, the earlier part which many of you have missed. You know now you know what is LLMs, the predicting parrot. Okay, and now how to interact with this? We give the text to them. I'll go to my other PPTs rather than sharing this. Okay. Okay. So, the art of talk. Now I'll go to what is LLM is already be pre-trained. Now what is vector database? Vector database is, guys, storing the data, the text which are we are inputting into the LLM in terms of array of numbers or numerical forms, and which are closely associated with the cosine angle of it. The one which relate more are closer, and the one which are really not correlated that closer is associated somewhere in the distant tables. So we are storing the database in the form of vector tables. This is how it is being embedded. Okay. And while retrieving also in the rags and all stuff, when we retrieve, these vectors are actually used and they are being manipulated, and then the inference is being made. Okay. Now, going to the tokenizations part, whenever the tokenization is done, whatever text we input, every four letter or the characters is converted into one token, okay, including the comma, it can be the comma or the apostrophe, full stop. These are also considered to be as the tokens. And generally, we say 100 English words sum up to 150 tokens. Okay. And every LLM, every AI LLM has its own way of billing for these tokens. For example, some will, it may range from $0.1 to $1 for the input tokens, but for the processing tokens, for the LLMs to process the information, to compute it, it needs tokens, and that processing tokens and giving us the output, the cost is high. It ranges from, for 1 million tokens, probably from $1 to $4, depending upon the model which we are using. As mentioned, it can be Olama, it can be Gemini, it can be Claude, or our ChatGPT 4.0. Okay. So, breaking of the text into smaller version is called as tokens, inputting tokens, processing, and then the output is being given to us. Okay. Now, so this is about tokenization, converting into the unit. Now, after the tokenization, there comes the context window. What is context window? Is nothing but the working memory. LLMs are not supposed to remember everything from first page to 100 page. Suppose if you try to ingest thousands of pages or documents into it, it needs to have some reference from first page to second page. So it has certain limitation to this context window or the working memory, we say. Okay. In case of context window, generally, um, now the context window, 2 years back it was 20,000 tokens, which has been extended or expanded to 128,000 tokens, up to 20 lakh tokens now. So your LLM can actually carry the context from the first token to the last token and infer or conclude out of it. कि, अच्छा, if this is a bank or any other, for example, bank, it is a financial bank or the river bank. This is how it goes with. Okay. Generally, you know, it is able to create certain relation between the tokens, which is called as self attention mechanism. Now, who uses this self attention mechanism? Are nothing but the transformer model, guys. The whatever LLMs we are using has a transformer models into it. What is transformer model? Is remembering the context of the conversation with the LLMs. Okay. So it is able to infer, conclude from the previous conversations, the memory which it has from the previous conversations, and accordingly it will start the new thread to it. This is called as a self-attention mechanism, where every token weighs something. It has certain weight to it. And as per the weight, they are related. Okay. Now, what is the challenge of the context window? I said the amount of processing power required scales quadratically. I already mentioned if the X number of tokens are required or being inputted into the LLM for processing, it takes X square amount of tokens. So it's, quadratically related to the number of tokens which is being inputted to it, which is a relation of y is equal to f of x square. If you know, and you know NLM, you can understand how this relation grows. Okay, so if there needs to be certain balancing act to the context window, too lengthy context window can lead to, you know, malfunctioning. For example, certain users are if they want to create certain, ingest certain harmful data, that can be hidden into that long context window, and to find it, it's like a finding a needle in a bunch of hay for them. So the window needs to be, you know, at that sweet spot point, that optimized length, not too short, not too long, and it needs to give us the precise output, the desirable output which user is looking for. Okay, so we know that about working memory. This is how the context window are bound to work. And you know, even when we say about tokens, tokens are not only utilized by the users, the system prompt also, the user prompt he सिर्फ token नहीं लेगा in, with the system prompt also will be needing. The system means the LLM has been programmed. Yes. Okay, even that will be needing certain tokens. Then also the source code, you know, for code which is being written to analyze and generation of the output will also be needing the tokens. For the RAG system, retrieval augmented generation, for the data to be generated at the output, that also needs the tokens. So all these tokens are being quantified and then added up, and then the output is being generated. Okay, so this is basics about context window tokenization. Okay, I hope I'm able to explain it to you in a very short span of time, and able to make justice to the topic. Now, if you have any questions related to it, please do ask me. You can unmute yourself and ask me. How was the topic flow? Did you enjoy the topic flow and the content part also? I'm trying to wrap up the session. Do let me know how did you like the topic? Was it really relevant for you? Okay, thank you. So, any questions, guys? Yes, it needs to be given in a single message. Crafting should be done in a single prompt, guys. It needs to be in a single craft. All needs to be done in a single prompt. That imagine you are a senior professor that and working in an engineering college since 10 years and doing some research. Okay, and then accordingly, and what is your and my audience, or the I need to generate the notes or some paper presentation for the third year engineering students who has these background. You need to give everything in a single prompt. Okay, so that accordingly LLM can process and give you the output. So what are the further sessions? You have any idea for what are the topics? Did you cover RAGs, by the way? Thank you, Krishna sir. Thank you so much. I hope I'm able to make some relevant output out of it. I was trying my best. But please try all the prompts which we discussed today and see the difference which you get. Understand the tokenization and basics, and always remember my predicting parrot analogy. You know, predicting parrot. This is how the LLMs just try to take LLMs as a person, as a human, and then you will start enjoying working with it. You know, this AI. And they are being trained to do it. Okay, so this is really important. Any questions? or anything? Which is the next topic? Any idea, guys? Next session coming up at 3:30. Ankita is there? Ankita called me, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Ankita. What is the next topic you have?
Next topic is regarding some uh,
Okay, no worries, no worries. So you guys are attending these sessions. Okay, AI literacy and prompt. Again, you're going to learn prompt engineering.
I think that was add-on for one.
That will such a painful job for them to listen the same thing again, yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys are, but I expect it needs to be more interactive, right? You guys are maybe in the working hours. You guys are working and attending the sessions. That's a fact. Yes, you are at the colleges. Oh, okay, that's painful. Okay, so I think I'm done for the day. And if you need anything, you are going to get my contact. And any AI sessions you need, you can let me know. Okay. Thank you so much for all the time. Keep learning, keep exploring in life. Thank you. Thank you,
If
Ankita Patil. Thank you.
if any participant has a query or would like to further clarification, you will welcome to ask your question. As there
Thank
are
you,
no further
Shweta.
questions,
Thank you, Surya, Sameer. Thank you so much. I would like to see you. If you can keep your video on for a while, would have interacted on AI. What is coming new in AI? What is happening? Because I'm working into that, regressly. I have, oh, good to see you, Pragya, Sameer. Nice. I'm not used to because interact switching off videos. I am generally interacting in a live manner. Thank you, Megha. I hope, Megha, you were able to use it, dear. From where you are joining, Megha? Which place? You're muted. Sameer, Sameer sir, from where you are joining?
Madam AG Patil.
Okay, okay, okay. So let's call it off, guys. You need
I'm
to
joining
join
from
back.
JV Acharya College, Shelu.
Oh, okay, nearby. Great. Yeah, Pragya, you're
okay, ma'am.
joining from? Okay, so let's sign it off for the day. Keep learning, keep exploring in life. AI is integral part of us now. Okay, thank you so much.
As there are no further questions, I would like to take this opportunity to express heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the organizing committee. I extend my sincere appreciation to Mrs. Sapna Agarwal, ma'am, for delivering such an insightful and engaging session. Ma'am, today's session helped us to understand the fundamental concept of AI tokens, how AI token models process information through the tokens, significance of tokenization in generating accurate and meaningful responses. This session not only enhanced our understanding of artificial intelligence, but also inspired us to explore artificial intelligence tools more effectively and responsibly for educational excellence. Once again, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
With this, I formally conclude session one. The next session will start shortly. I request all participants to remain
Thank
connected
you.
and prepared and the learning experience. Thank you.